What's up, Buttercups? It's me, Amy Young. I'm coming at you with a Friday freestyle to answer a question from a lovely subscriber follower named Kayla, who messaged me over on Instagram asking about some solo travel. Because we know I spent the better part of this past year traveling along the West Coast, going and like test driving different cities. And I also, this past week, for a little like summer getaway, I took my coaching business with me, and I went to the North Shore of Massachusetts for just like a little beach town hiatus. It was lovely and wonderful. So Kayla saw that I was away for a week, and she says that she's been dabbling with the idea of solo travel for a little while now, but doesn't really know where to start. I'm afraid that I would possibly get bored or lonely being all alone on a trip, but at the same time, I feel like it would be a good way to really get to know myself. Do you have any advice for one who wants to give solo travel a try? Yes. I think going away by yourself, it should be like essential, like in order to graduate, like, and be an adult. Like in order to graduate from existence and just like be a functioning grown-up, you should have to go somewhere that you've never been before, all by yourself, and figure shit the fuck out. Because Kayla's totally right. It is a really great way to get to know yourself. And I think that she's raising some really interesting issues here about why we don't do things that we really want to do or that we think would be really good for us. And the biggest reason why we don't do things is because we're afraid of feeling stuff we don't want to feel. Like Kayla's saying that she wants to do it, but she's worried that she might feel lonely or she might feel bored. And the reality of it is that, yeah, you might feel lonely and you might feel bored. I had moments where I felt lonely. I have moments where I felt bored. The really interesting thing to me, though, is that we put so much power in just a feeling, like in just feeling bored for a little while or feeling lonely. You know, we have to recognize that feelings, a few facts about feelings. Okay, number one, feelings come and go. Feelings are not permanent. Feelings never stay forever. Feelings are like weather patterns, you know, like they like clouds going through the sky. They show up, they block the sun, and you're like, oh no, the sun is gone. No, it's not. There's just a cloud in it. Sadness. Oh my God, I'm sad forever. No, you're not. You're sad for a little while. Feelings come and go, rule number one. Number two, feelings are not facts. You know, just because you feel lonely, does that mean that you're totally alone? No, there's probably people all around you. Just because you feel bored, does that mean that like life is boring? Oh my God, there's like nothing to do right now? No, you just feel kind of bored. You feel you're under the impression or under the illusion that like there's nothing for me to do right now. The third thing is that feelings just give us really good information about ourselves. Like feelings are really good internal guidance about just like where we are and how we're looking at things and how we can help ourselves. Because if you feel lonely or you feel bored, that's nothing but a really good opportunity to come to your own aid and be like, okay, how am I going to help myself with this feeling? If you avoid situations where you might feel something uncomfortable, like loneliness or boredom, you're missing out on a ton of life experience, and you're not really being a great partner to yourself because you're not even giving yourself the opportunity to have your own back and support yourself through different experiences. And to avoid really cool life experiences because you might feel something uncomfortable is a really shitty, not great reason to do something. Like, we have to get friendly with all of our feelings, because no feeling is inherently like bad, terrible, uh-oh, very scary, dangerous, don't feel that. It's our judgments and our interpretations and our resistance to those feelings that present the problem. So get friendly with the concept of loneliness. Be okay with the fact that you will get bored sometimes. You know, this is something that comes up so often in my coaching work, that people don't want to pursue love or put themselves out there because they're afraid of having their feelings hurt. So we're gonna miss out on these like potentially amazing life-changing opportunities of connecting with other people who might love us or who we might love, because there's the possibility and the truth that we'll get hurt at some point in time. I mean, even if you meet your soulmate person, they're gonna hurt you. The best case scenario is like you fall in love with someone and then one of you dies after you spend your whole life together. Like, hurt feelings, sadness, loneliness, boredom, discomfort, isolation. This stuff is like unavoidable, and it's something we have to get more comfortable with and stop kind of like treating ourselves like we're really fragile little bubble boy people who shouldn't have to feel anything. And this is something that I think is a huge fault of just like the personal development community, or like the popular psychology stuff, which I feel like I'm just like ragging on a lot these days, but fuck it. Is there's just this idea that like, you know, you can get to a place in your life where you're just happy all the time, or you feel good all the time, or your outlook is so positive that nothing bothers you. Look at this face. No, we're not here to just experience like the top half of the emotional spectrum. No, we're here to like experience all of it. And life gets really good when we stop being so afraid of our feelings, and we stop trying to control our feelings, and we stop trying to like bubble boy ourselves. So my first piece of advice for anyone who wants to do solo travel but who's afraid that they might get scared, or they might get lonely, or they might get bored, or they might feel fearful in moments because you will get lost, or you might run out of money, or you're not gonna know. Like for me, you know, this past year I got really sick and I had to like figure out, okay, like I don't know if my health insurance works here, I don't know where the nearest doctor is, I don't know what's wrong with me, I don't know how I'm gonna get to the clinic. I felt a lot of feelings, plus like 100-degree fever, and I had to figure it out. So we have to recognize fear of feelings is not a good reason to not do anything. And we actually want to put ourselves in situations where we're going to expose ourselves to those different uncomfortable feelings so that we can navigate through them. Because when we start getting excited to feel uncomfortable things, that's when life gets really fucking good. And the other pieces of advice I would just give are do it. Just do it. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to buy a one-way ticket to Australia. You know, for any of our non-Aussie folks, if you're in Australia, that won't be far for you. Like, but you know, you could go away somewhere for a few days and test it out and see how it feels. The other thing I would say, as someone who had never solo traveled before, I think the best thing that you can possibly do is give yourself a plan. Like, I know myself well enough to know I like having like checkpoints and ideas about like, okay, so I will get off the plane at this time, and I know that I will get an Uber, or I'll get a taxi, or I know where the you know, bus station is so that I can know exactly where I'm going. I like knowing where I'm gonna stay when I get there. I'll research ahead of time, like, okay, what do I want to do while I'm there? Like, are there museums I want to see? Are there restaurants I want to go to? Are there people that I might know who have friends there? Am I gonna need to get a new camera? Because this camera just overheated after being on for like 8 minutes. You have one job. I don't even remember what I was saying now. I think I made the main points though. Don't be afraid of your feelings. Watch the movie Inside Out. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just know that I hope you're having a great day, night, weekend, wherever you are. If you want to be in my email list, click the link in the description box. Lots of good stuff down there. Lots of cool things happening in the fall that I would love to have you be a part of. Till next time, it'll be in the not too distant future. We'll meet again, and I will see ya.